Kevin Owens breaks his silence after his loss to Roman Reigns at TLC. Bray Wyatt sends out a cryptic message after being set on fire by Randy Orton, and Asuka sets a new record at TLC. Hello everyone, Jose G here bringing you today's top stories in today's SK Wrestling News Roundup. Kevin Owens breaks his silence after his loss to Roman Reigns at TLC. At WWE TLC 2020, Kevin put up a valiant effort in his Universal title clash against Roman Reigns. While the match in itself was a solid contest, there was a lot of controversies to the finish as expected. Eventually, Jey Uso's outside interference led to a low blow from the Tribal Chief, who made sure Owens passed out from the guillotine choke. Taking to Twitter, KO has now commented on his loss. Despite putting up one of the best performances of his WWE career, Kevin Owens was unable to dethrone Roman Reigns as the Universal Champion. The prizefighter pushed the Tribal Chief to his absolute limit. However, Reigns retained the Universal Championship yet again with the help of his entourage. Taking to Twitter, Kevin Owens thanked the WWE Universe for their support. Even though Owens came up short against Reigns, the majority of the WWE Universe was impressed by another classic KO performance inside the squared circle. On course to his loss to the Tribal Chief, Kevin Owens passed out from a guillotine choke from Roman Reigns. While the loss wasn't exactly a clean one, especially after the outside interferences, Owens will probably continue working in the upper mid-card on SmackDown. Shelton Benjamin dedicates his Raw Tag Team Championship win to Shad Gaspard. Shelton Benjamin of The Hurt Business shared a heartwarming post via Instagram dedicating the Raw Tag Team Championship win at TLC to his friend, the late Shad Gaspard. With the win, Shelton Benjamin is now a three-time WWE Tag Team Champion. Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander of The Hurt Business challenged Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods for the Raw Tag Team Championship at TLC. The end of the match saw Alexander hit the lumbar check on Kingston for the win. After the show, Shelton Benjamin shared a post on Instagram in honor of his late friend Shad Gaspard. Benjamin dedicated his championship win to his close friend Gaspard, who tragically passed away back in May of this year after a fatal swimming accident at Venice Beach. Shelton Benjamin posted a picture of himself and Shad along with another picture showing his newly acquired Raw Tag Team title with his wristband, which also read 4SG, which stands for Shad Gaspard. Shelton Benjamin and Shad Gaspard had been good friends for a long time. The two friends even faced off against each other when Benjamin, who was part of the world's greatest tag team with Charlie Haas, began feuding with JTG and Shad Gaspard of Crime Time. Benjamin continued to be close friends with Shad even after their respective release from WWE. After the news broke of Shad Gaspard's passing, Shelton Benjamin was one of the many stars who paid a heartfelt tribute to the former WWE superstar. Bray Wyatt sends out a cryptic tweet after being set on fire by Randy Orton. TLC saw one of the most bizarre endings in WWE history as Randy Orton and the Fiend Bray Wyatt faced each other in a Firefly Inferno match that main evented the show. Randy Orton won the match after the Fiend caught fire outside of the ring. However, things didn't end there as the Viper had more in store for the former Universal Champion. Orton went on to pour gasoline all over the Fiend Bray Wyatt and then, in a shocking turn of events, set him on fire. The pay-per-view ended with Randy Orton making his way to the back while looking at the Fiend's burning body inside the ring. Bray Wyatt has now sent out a cryptic tweet following his loss at TLC. In the tweet, Bray Wyatt said, "Thank you," with a circle probably representing the circle of life. The picture attached is of a cocoon indicating that Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, might come back soon in a new form. The unique stipulation of a Firefly Inferno match had the fans talking and discussing as to what could actually happen in the main event of TLC. As it turned out, this was a typical Inferno match, but instead of the ring being set on fire, there were flames in the surrounding area, including in a few poles. In a way, the entire Thunderdome was on fire, and that proved to be a great visual. How WWE filmed the spot where Randy Orton set the Fiend on fire at TLC. This past Sunday at TLC, Randy Orton defeated the Fiend to win the Firefly Inferno match in the main event of the night. Following the win, Randy Orton literally set the Fiend on fire to close out the pay-per-view. As the Fiend's body burned and Orton did his signature pose, TLC 2020 went off the air. Now, Paul Davis of WrestlingNews.co has revealed in his latest report how Randy Orton managed to set the Fiend on fire in front of millions of fans. WrestleVote had already reported that the match was pre-taped in the afternoon. Davis added that both superstars stopped midway on various occasions and did a bunch of retakes to carry out the dangerous spots in the match. This included the spot where the Fiend placed Orton on the rocking chair and attempted to set him on fire, but the Viper moved away at the last moment. Additionally, the last spot of the match involving gasoline was heavily edited by the WWE production team, and a dummy was used to make it look like the Fiend had been set on fire by Orton. Davis also reported that WWE had personnel ready off camera with fire extinguishers to put out fires during the match. Asuka sets a new record at TLC. At this year's TLC, Asuka took on WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax with a mystery partner who turned out to be former Raw Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. After a well-fought match, Asuka and Charlotte Flair became the new WWE Tag Team Champions. Flair hit Baszler with a natural selection to secure the win for herself and her new tag team partner. With Asuka winning the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships for the third time, she sets a new record in WWE. According to WWE Stats and Info on Twitter, she became the first female in WWE to win the tag team title with two different partners since Velvet McIntyre 36 years ago in 1984. As well as this, Asuka is the first WWE superstar to hold the current WWE Women's Tag Team Championships with two different partners. Her first partner was Kairi Sane, who recently left American WWE programming to become their ambassador in her native Japan. Asuka also won the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships for the first time in October 2019 when her then partner Kairi Sane. The pair, who were dubbed the Kabuki Warriors, remained champions for 180 days until they lost to Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross in the opening match of WrestleMania 36. Asuka is now in her second reign as WWE Women's Tag Team Champion and now makes her the WWE superstar with the most days holding the title and also a double champion, as she is the current Raw Women's Champion. Thanks for watching today's SK Wrestling News Roundup. Follow us on all social media. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Download the Sportskeeda app for the most up-to-date stories in the world of wrestling.